this is Jennifer Minster for SavannahNow.com, and in this edition of Local Music Now, we're talking to Trae Gurley. Well, Trae, thank you very much for letting me come and talk to you. I appreciate it.
No problem at all.
I did a little bit of reading on your website about your bio, how you kind of got started with the guitar and the sax, and took musical theater to get you to sing.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Tell us a little bit about how your music career started.
Yeah, well, I guess any musician always has a childhood story, and it usually ties into, if you're in the South, it starts off with church, I would say, so I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. But yeah, just your normal bander throughout high school, but then I got introduced to theater and started doing that, which leads into musical theater. And I was in a band while I was in high school as well, so I've always been musically inclined in that way. And so I kept up with the theater, did a lot of community theater as well when I was in college. And then I moved to New York and kind of continued on that path and did a lot of local productions and whatnot. And then I stopped singing for quite a long time. Just stopped doing music for several years in any format. And then was just wanting to do it again. And so a friend of mine was doing an off-Broadway show about Sinatra, and he said you should really start singing this music because your voice is perfect for it. So long story short, I did, and kind of created a small little show that I pitched around to a few places, and one of the places I did was here at Jazz. And Brian ended up taking me on one night, and I came and sang for a Thursday, and stayed ever since. So,
let it go. I've got the world on a string, and I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger, all the world. And this is the life. And now I'm so in love.
So yeah, you do a lot of Sinatra here at Jazz.
I do.
You did some Johnny Mercer stuff at his 100 things.
Yes. Yeah, that was kind of a big deal for me. Just if you're from Savannah and you know who Johnny Mercer is, to be invited as a special guest vocalist, which I've done several years at the Johnny Mercer, his annual birthday concert. But to be able to be on stage with a band and doing music that was tailored just for me in that atmosphere in the Johnny Mercer Theater, it's pretty, out-of-body experience. I guess it sounds kind of nerdy to some people, but I remember standing on stage and telling the audience, this is my idea of making it, because I'm doing something now I never thought I'd be doing. So, yeah, that's unbelievable. So it's something I'll be able to keep with me for a long time. Yeah.
So the guys like Sinatra and lyricists like Johnny Mercer, are those the things that inspire you? What inspires you when it comes to music?
I think in that musical format, I'm really inspired by Sinatra with the way he phrased things. I've heard several people say, he has an okay voice, he has a good voice. His voice is okay, I would say, but definitely when you hear his voice, you know what it is. But his phrasing is kind of what I studied, how he delivered it. Because I kind of pair myself in that category where I don't think I have a great voice, but I deliver it really well. I think that makes the biggest difference, paying attention to the lyric.
That's interesting.
It does too, yeah. So I get away with a lot of the acting, and the delivery comes out in that, and I think that's much more memorable. I always tell people, with me, it's 70% delivery and 30% voice. I make up for the difference.
Well, before we go, we have to talk about, we're obviously here at Jazz. You're here every Thursday. Where can you tell folks a little bit about those details, websites and stuff?
I'm here at Jazz, which is on Barnum Street in downtown Savannah, every Thursday from 7:30 to 11. That's my normal night. It's the one gig I'm always steady on, but I do other engagements as well, even outside of Sinatra, and a lot of private things, weddings and cocktail parties. But I play guitar as well and do kind of something that's completely the opposite. It's more modern, country, Ryan Adams, Ray LaMontagne, so completely opposite vocal styling and playing ability, but all that information you can find more about on my website at TraeGurley.com, or you can email me through the website as well if you have any questions.
Well, Trae, thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I really
Thanks for sitting down with me. That's great.
Thank you.
So you see, I've just got to say no, no, or nothing at all, or nothing at all.